of ATV motocross and GNCC racing. Here's Mr. 10 Seconds, Rodney Tomlin.
And a good evening, everyone, as we welcome you out to Quad Radio Live here on a Wednesday. This is November 14th, 2012, and it is a crisp and chilly night here in Quad Radio USA. As we say good evening on behalf of our friends at Impact Solutions, your factory-authorized service center for Elko Suspension at 985 Harris Highway in Parkersburg, West Virginia. You can phone them up. 304-863-0025 is where you want to call them at. And, of course, don't forget the folks at Elko Suspension are also dialing in resumes right now for support for the 2013 season. Also want to say thanks to SSI Decals. Just got the word today that on its way is new promotional merchandise for Quad Radio, which will include stickers, a variety of those, and some banners and things like that. So I want to say thanks to Ian and those guys. And hopefully Quad Radio will have a vehicle that will need some wrapping soon, and maybe we'll be saying thanks to SSI Decals for something like that here in the near future. Right now on the show tonight, we have got in store one newly crowned GNCC XC2 Pro-Am champion on the ATV side of things there. And that, again, is none other than LP, Little Pat McGuire. And we've also got his nemesis from the 2012 season, and that is the number 19 of Braden Henthorn. Now, I say nemesis, but honestly, these guys are pretty good buddies, and you'll see what we're talking about, I think, whenever we get through with tonight's show. But pretty interesting friendship and pretty interesting couple of young men, and admirable young men as well. Going to find out what 2013 is going to hold for those guys. As well, in hour two tonight, coming up at 10 o'clock, we have got our friends from the ATV motocross world, a special treat with a father-son duo coming on board with us. That's going to be Cody and Joel Jansen. As we'll be talking with both those guys. Jansen Motorsports is a big influence out in the Midwest and in the ATV motocross national scene. We're going to be talking with Dad about that, but I'm sure we're going to be talking a lot more about Cody more than anything, and we'll be talking with Cody about Cody also as much as we possibly can. As we said, that'll be coming up a little later tonight. Also want to remind you folks, coming up this weekend is and we'll be talking about this with these two guys, the 28th Annual Team Hare Scramble Championship of the World. And I do want to apologize. I made a misquote there last night. I said that Thad Duvall and Adam McGill are going to be teaming up. That was kind of a plan, but that kind of fell through. Some other things had come up, and they had some other plans on those dates and didn't realize. And honestly, I had talked to Walker Fowler yesterday instead of Thad Duvall, and for some reason I got my wires crossed last night whenever I was doing the Two Wheel Tuesday. Thad Duvall and Adam McGill will not be there racing both Saturday and Sunday. Actually, Adam is out in Indiana doing he called it a Mafia University riding school. And also, I think Thad's out in Delaware racing. So those guys won't be on board. But these two guys most certainly will. That's coming up Saturday for the motorcycles, Sunday for the ATVs. ActionSportsRacing.com on the World Wide Web will get you dialed in to what is taking place there. As we say hello and good evening to our boys on the line. Hopefully everything is plugged in and working properly this evening as we say hello. And welcome to one Pat McGuire. Let's see here if these boys are plugged in. Now, I know that they are plugged in. Chasing wires. Checking volume knobs. They are all working. Boys, are you still there?
I'm here.
You're kind of making me worried there for a second.
You didn't have to me. That's not okay.
Oh, okay. Well, is LP online with us?
I take that as a no.
I take that as a no as well. Well, I guess we can start the show out with you this evening. Now, who else do we have online with us? And I thought I heard a couple of chime-ins there just before the start of the show there.
I got my leader crew chief here, Bob Dunlap, and a lady trying to visit with us.
A lady friend, he says. Well, that'll all work out well and good. And, well, Braden, man, congratulations to you on a pretty spectacular season. I know we've talked to you a little bit on Quad Radio before, and if anybody's ever listened to us, then they probably know what the story is with you. And that is, man, you were a phenomenal youth racer. You worked your way up through the ranks of youth racing into the B and the A classes, and also then quickly into the XC2 Pro-Am, where you quickly became a pretty good force there. And let's back up a year or so, man, and talk a little bit about this being number 2 and being in a battle for the championship heading into the final round. Is that anything that you ever expected to see happen or ever expected to have happen by any chance?
No, I didn't really ever expect it, but once I got the feel for the class in the beginning of the year and kind of knew that, I can do something with the speed I had already learned and taught myself, and I can get off of that. And by the time of the third round, I finally won one and then got my confidence up a little bit and started dreaming big, I guess you'd say. And towards the end of the year, I didn't think that I could ever be in the running for the championship, but I guess it's kind of a bittersweet ending for me. With the breaking down and losing the points I needed to win, it kind of sucked, but I would have rather lost to a good race rather than losing just to faulty equipment. But it was a good ride and a really good year, and I guess I'm proud, but could have done better. But I'm really proud and happy for LP to get the win anyway. He's been working a lot harder than me, I think. So proud of him. I'm happy with my year. So yeah, it's been a good year, and I'm happy with it.
Well, that's good. Obviously, you should be pretty proud and pretty happy with it. Here you're talking. You said, it was 3 rounds in before you got your first win. If you think about this in the big picture, in the grand scheme of things, honestly, Braden, you had some seasoned folks in that class that have been around for a while that were looking to be as much a dominator as what you appeared to be and turned out to be there toward the end of the championship. Guys like Gabe Phillips, Hoyland, who is a teammate of yours and had his ups and downs as far as the 2012 championship was concerned. There wasn't only him, but you had all the guys coming on there late in the year, Lancaster, and then and surprisingly, all those new kids that were making their way up onto the podium, throughout the course of the end of the season. Honestly, even with a lot of the new blood in the class this year, there were so many seasoned XC2 Pro-Am riders coming into the year, including LP, that you had to think that a championship would probably not even be conceivable, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's the way I looked at it in the beginning of the year. I just really just had my sights set on finishing the top 5, and I realized that I could get up there and compete with them guys that have been in there for a couple of years. I just knew that it was time to get everything together and see what I could do the first year. Make a pretty big impression and try to make a name for myself in the XC2 class.
So you did just that. You made an extremely big name for yourself. I got Adam McGill trying to pipe in there. He's going to have to wait, I believe. But nonetheless, okay, I think kind of threw me off there. But, looking at the big picture of all this, now that it's all over and everything, you had that super huge success. You had the 1 year in the XC2 Pro-Am class, and you made the statement before this season's end was even near that you were going to make the step up to the XC1 class. You made no bones about it. Win, lose, or draw, you were moving up.
Moving up, I don't know. I kind of had my sights set on kind of all year once I was thinking that maybe I could win a championship, but it was all right on kind of the outcome of the end of the year and how I felt. Anyway, not really how I finished, because I knew anything could happen. I mean, I've been around racing. I know you can win it all or you can lose it all in one race. Unfortunately, I lost it all in the last race, but I feel good. I feel strong. I mean, I've got a really good program going for next year. I just feel like it's time for me to move up, and I think that I'm not going to learn any more stats in the 62 class. So I'd like to move up the XC1 class and see what I can do with them guys, and basically just try to run a good year next year. But basically next year is just going to be kind of a learning year for me to try to figure stuff out and then hope for the best, I guess.
So, I mean, really, I mean, you don't think that you need to kind of season yourself? I mean, how old are you right now? You're what, 17, 18 years old?
Yeah, I'm 17. I'll be 18 this weekend.
I mean, you'll be 18 years old this weekend, huh? So you'll be allowed to vote next primary, I guess, huh?
Yeah, I guess that's one way you could look at it.
So, with that being said, man, I mean, looking at the age, I mean, and this is something that I've been taking note of, and I'm not trying to discourage you in any way, shape, or form. I'm just trying to see exactly where you're coming from here and what you're thinking and so forth. And that, of course, is you take a look at the class ahead of you, and most everybody in that class, except for Walker Fowler, are well into their 20s, and especially anyone that is doing anything any good. You know what I mean? So I mean, I'm not saying that you're trying to liken yourself to Walker Fowler, but I mean, you saw what kind of success Walker Fowler had being able to move up at such a young age. Are you feeling that maybe that might be the combination that's going to work for you too?
Yeah, the way I look at it, if I move up now, that's more experience I have for later when I'm in the 20s, like all the guys doing good. I mean, you got to start somewhere, and you got to get your experience and learn. And just, I realized racing XC2 this year that the XC1 guys are on a whole different level than what we ever even thought about being on. And, I mean, the way I'm looking at it, if I start young, I'm going to figure out what that level is before anyone else, instead of staying back in the XC2 class for the next couple of years just trying to win. And I think if I move up and start riding with those guys and seeing what they're doing and training a little harder and just pushing myself, and I think within the next couple of years I'll be where I need to be, but I'll still be younger than a lot of the guys that are really doing something. So I think I'll have an advantage.
Oh, so you're looking at having that advantage over the guys that are coming up, the Josh Merritts and those kind of guys right there that are I guess could be and should be in reality in the grand scheme of things championship contenders, along with you and Walker and some of those guys coming up very, very soon.
Yeah, that's basically the way I look at it. I just want to try to stay like one step ahead, I guess you'd say. I feel that moving up and just getting it done and getting a good program together with Santo this year, I mean, I just think that we've got everything it takes to get in there and get rolling and make a name for ourselves, and just show people that the young guy, the rookie, the 18-year-old can get out there and show the XD1 class what he's capable of.
Now let me ask you this, realistically thinking about it now, knowing the speed, knowing the pace, knowing and getting a glimpse of what you got a glimpse of this year, what are your true expectations heading into the 2013 season?
The 2013 season, we actually just talked about that tonight, working out there. It's Planet Fitness here. We had a little pep talk, me and Bob here sitting here with me, and we made up the goal, and the goal is to have a top 5 number by the end of next year.
To be what now?
Yeah. So the goal is to have a top 5 number by the end of next year.
A top 5 number by the end of next year. And I just heard somebody chime in. I think it's your Your boyfriend there, Mr. Adam McGill, just chiming in right there. And Adam, a top 5 number. How realistic is that for him? Is he talking?
Hello.
Hello? Adam?
Hello.
Yeah, we're here.
What up?
What up?
Not much. Just listening to this. Just listening to you.
Just listening to this now. So you're probably kind of following along here. Just now, Braden made the statement that his hopes this time next year, and he's not making any call-outs or pointing any shots or making any Casey Joneses or Babe Ruth calls or anything like that. You know, he's not like going to say it's going over the left field wall or anything like that. He's saying that he's hoping by the end of next year to have a top 5 number. And the reality of that is a lot of hard work, and you probably know that as much as anybody right now.
Yeah, for sure. I don't. As long as I'm in the pro class, I'll make damn sure that he'll never get that top 5. He'll never beat me.
Right.
So
I'll put his young punk butt behind me like I do every Wexer this year. I'll whack him and just cry when he goes home.
It's going to get bad.
So does he wax you at the Wexers? Is that how this all works, man? Does he show you the fast way around the racetrack there, Braden, or is he pulling somebody's leg here?
You can't even talk to him on here. He's just trying to be a loud mouth in front of everybody on the TV and he's thinking radio. You can't get nothing out of him that's going to be true now.
We've given him a platform, is what we've done.
If it's on the internet, it's true, right?
That's what they tell me, man. That's what I read on Facebook anyway.
No, but honestly, in my opinion, if he goes out there and rides smart, it's definitely possible. I mean, considering, not being an a-hole or anything, there's only 12 of us.
Right.
So, he's got to be 7. So, with him stepping up, I definitely think it'll make for better racing for sure. And, I enjoy riding with him, especially at the locals. And it'll take him some time. There's definitely going to be a learning curve for him like there, has been with everybody. But, I think he'll have his good races, and I think he'll have his bad races just like everybody does in the first couple of years.
Yeah, exactly. And, the question that I pose, I wonder, and it seems to be working out for Walker all right, but, looking at the XC1 class, and you were one of those riders that did it as well. You moved up, I think, at a young age, if memory serves me correct. Most of the riders, once they start achieving the success and the greatness that they're looking for, they don't do that until they start leaning toward their mid-20s, it seems like.
Yeah, for sure. I moved up at the end of when I raced up the Pro-Am in 2005. I think I was 17, just turned 18. I moved up and pretty much got run through the ringer, essentially. That's back when, there was 20, 25 of us in the row, and, you had to pay your dues. There's not so much dues now. It's, the pace now, we're going so fast, and if you mess with anybody, it takes a chance of getting hurt big time. So, we'll bump, we'll rub, but we all know how much we could push each other for sure. And, like I said before, it's definitely going to be a little learning curve with that for him, moving up. But, he's run the Lexus with me, and he's run a couple other locals, and he knows the pace. And, I think if he, like you said, if he figures that out, he'll be fine.
Right, and I think he's a kid. Honestly, his progression from the youth ranks up through the B to the A classes and into the Pro-Am class, I think he showed pretty good promise in that.
Yeah, just because he drives a fast truck doesn't mean he'll be fast on a quad. oh, wait, that's right, his truck's not fast, his dad is faster, my bad.
You are ridiculous. You're just happy to drive the truck faster than you, but we're not going to start that right now.
Yeah. Adam, while I got you on here and everything, and I think that I just got a message there from LP. I think he's going to be calling right now here in just a second. But we caught word that you were kind of talking about it with Thad Duvall that you were going to be racing this weekend at the Team Hare Scramble. We know that's not going to be the case because it looks like both of you guys are tied up with a couple of things. You're in Indiana or headed to Indiana this weekend. You've got a Mafia University riding school going on, from what I understand, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I'm actually in lockdown right now in Athens at Haley's house, and I'm kind of here for the next couple of days. I'll be leaving for Indiana. It's actually where we had I think it was the Indy 100, the place that poured the rain down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to go there and do a Mafia U. I've got 20 people coming out there, and it's definitely it's blowing up, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's great. That 20 people, that's a pretty good class of students that you're going to have out there. That's pretty impressive, to say the least, man. I'm happy to see that that's working out for you. Now, is that something you're going to be doing a lot of throughout the course of the winter?
Yeah, I've got a class already for Florida 6 youth already down there that people's wanting me to do. So my plan is I'd like to do more throughout the year, especially like some of the races, like out in Indiana. I like to do one in Loretta's, and I'd like to do one, West Virginia. I kind of like to do, in a couple of different states that we race in. Coach up a couple days early and do them for the the local people and the townspeople that do the races there.
That's not a bad idea. That's good. That's a good way to market. That's a
Hey,
good
Robin.
way. Yeah. Hey, is this LP?
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome aboard, my man. Glad to have you on. Glad you can make it, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, stand by. I'll be right with you if that's all right. What's that?
I said I can't say what little LP stands for.
Not on the air.
Not on the air. We won't go there right now, anyway. But anyway, that's good to hear about you, Adam. And I hope that everything's working out well for you. You can hang out with us here, and we'll talk a little bit more with these guys. And again, just want to say thanks to our friends at Impact Solutions and our friends. They are your Elka Suspension headquarters there here in the U.S. at 1085 Harris Highway, or 985 Harris Highway in Parkersburg, West Virginia, 304-863-0025. You can call up Big Steve over there. You can also find him at ImpactSolutionsATV.com and Impact Solutions on Facebook as well. And thanks also to our friends at SSI Decals as well, and check them out on the World Wide Web at SSIDecals.com. And what's going on in there, Adam? Are you on lockdown? So you're over in Athens right now. You're not too far from me right now, to be honest with you.
No. I'm Haley's roommate actually bought a futon, and she's trying to rearrange it. She's like, look at here. I'm like, no, move back to the other side of the room. No, go back to the other side of the room. I'm going to the other side.
She doesn't realize what you're doing at all, does she?
I think she just gave up.
She just give up. She probably finally just figured out what you were doing to her, I think. But that's cool, man. Well, hang tight over there in Athens for a couple of days. Hang tight with us here for a little bit as well. And feel free to pipe in anytime you feel like it. But so, Pat, we've been talking with Braden there about the season for him and, the wild, unexpected ride that he had and being a contender for the championship. And before we move over to you, Pat, there is one thing that I do want to talk about. And you made mention of it, Braden, there a few moments ago about that notorious and infamous first and final lap of racing at Loretta Lynn's for you. Coming into the GNCC there at Loretta Lynn's, you had a 6-point lead. And basically, you just had to go out there and you didn't have to win. You just had to finish right there, right behind LP, in order to capture the championship. Take us through that morning leading up to that race, that start, and that first lap or that first partial lap, man. How did that all work out for you?
It didn't really work out at all. But, I mean, I don't know. It was one of those days when you woke up, you had a feeling. It wasn't a good feeling. You could tell someone's right, something wasn't together. It just felt like, but I think everybody in the whole crew kind of felt that way. I think we were just all either nervous or we all just felt something. And I mean, it's not really that we knew it was going to happen or that we could have prevented it or nothing, but I mean, it was just something unexpected and untimely for that to happen. But I don't know, rolling up to the starting line in that last round was the most nervous I've been in my whole career, because there's just so much riding on that race and just so much pep talking going on before the race, and just so much on me. I mean, but that's racing. That's the way I like it. That's why I race. I mean, as a kid, I played some team sports and stuff, and I always said I hated doing team sports because if one person messed up, everybody messed up. And I couldn't stand that, so I came into wanted to race, and here I am, and I got what I wished for, I guess, a little bit more than what I ever really wanted, but I had a lot riding on that race, and I think everybody in the whole team was nervous, but everybody was definitely supporting me, and I mean, it wasn't anybody's fault that we broke down, but I don't know, we just had some bad luck, and just didn't really work for us this year. We're going to try to make up for it next year, but the first lap was a lot of the nerves went away until the motor locked up on me, of course. And the notorious fit went down in the woods by myself with the helmet thrown and the cuffing and the kicking stuff like that. But I don't know. Once I got over that, I mean, I guess you could say it was all okay. I mean, I'm still pretty mad about it, but it was all good. I was happy to see Pat do what he did, and I don't know. It's not bad how it turned out. I kind of like the way it turned out. I'm ready to see what next year has in store for us. And,
well, that's good, man. I mean, that you come out of that with a positive attitude. Now, I will tell you that one of the track officials, that the first one I think on the scene, he told me about actually showing up, and he said that you were not a happy camper whenever he first got there. But
I was pretty happy. I didn't think I could wear the helmet I wore that time anymore, because I think I threw it a little hard at the four-wheeler for 100 tons.
That's crazy, man. I mean, that had to be a definite heartbreaker. There's no doubt about it. But I mean, what kind of things did go through? I mean, did it just locked up? I mean, that's all it did?
Yeah, the cam chain catcher, something happened with it and made it jump out of time, and locked it up tighter than I'll get out. So I mean, it was just done right there. I mean, there was nothing I could do about it. I mean, I'm pretty good at working on stuff and know what to do if something's wrong, but I mean, there's nothing you can do about that on the track. And it was just sitting out there in sheer disappointment and just let down.
Oh, I can only imagine. You know what's really fun? I mean, it's not funny, but it is kind of funny in a way. Is that LP actually, I believe, parked his ATV in your pits and in your trailer that night, right?
Yeah, we were all making jokes about sabotaging his bike so I could win, but evidently he must have snuck in there that night and did some work on mine or something. So
I told your dad, I said, man, you worked on the wrong quad, dude. But, well, again, phenomenal season, and congratulations to you. And you took it like a man. I like the championship photo, and I like what your dad said. Your dad said, you know what? And let me see if I can get his voice. You know, I'm gonna be on the I'm gonna be in the championship photo no matter what. So there he is. There you are, and you've got the number 2 up. Everybody else got the number 1. You got the number 2, and LP right there, front and center, obviously with the big number 1 plate. That's pretty cool, man. And with that, you guys are pretty good buddies, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. We spent a lot of time in Florida together last year training and stuff, and we just hang out the races and stuff, and we're just real friendly with each other on the track, and we got a real good friendship pulled together here the past couple of years, and he's one of my best friends, and I love riding with him, and I was glad to see him beat me. I mean, that's what I said at the beginning of the year. anybody was going to beat me, it'd be him. So yeah, I'm happy with it. Yeah. So I guess we're really good friends, and we give a shout out to him. And him, I know he's on here, but give a shout out for him for listening to my pit board that race after I got pulled in. I had on the pit board to do a wheelie, and he was the only one I get to do a wheelie. he was definitely riding smart and celebrating all at the same time in that race, and it was just a championship ride for him and phenomenal year.
For sure. And what's really cool is you guys are going to be riding together this weekend on Sunday, right?
Yep.
And that'll be at the Team Hare Scramble. So, again, Saturday's motorcycles, Sunday is ATVs, and inviting everybody, actionsportsracing.com. You can find out more about that as we go to Little Pat McGuire. Congratulations and welcome to the 2012 XC2 Pro-Am GNCC ATV champ, Pat McGuire. Pat, good to have you on board with us, man.
Yeah, thank you, Rodney.
Well, what's been going on in LP's world, man?
Oh, not too much. Just the same old stuff. Just helping my dad out in the garage a minute ago. But, yeah, pretty much the same stuff. Working on bikes a little here and there and doing a little racing, that type of thing.
Well, I tell you what, man, a phenomenal year. You started out this 2012 season on fire, and it was funny. I know we've joked and laughed about this on several different occasions, but, I mean, you got off to the lead, bam, you checked out, and it was Pat McGuire gone, and you got the points lead. And whenever it dawned on you after that first race that you were the points leader, the look on your face of panic, of joy, of oh my gosh, what do I do? I mean, there were a lot of expressions in your eyes whenever I said that, and that's something, a weight that you carried for several races, and then you kind of lost it, you gained it back, you lost it, you gained it back, and then you lost it right there toward the end, and it was right down to the wire. That's kind of it in a nutshell. But tell us from your perspective, Pat. Take us through last year, preseason, ramping up, and take us through this 2012 season up to the championship, what it was like from your perspective.
Well, I don't know. Went into the year, you're riding a lot more than I ever had. Like Braden said before, we were down in Florida a good bit, riding together, and I never had that opportunity in the past. So that was awesome. I mean, I was feeling good about going into Florida, but as far as pulling off the win like I did, I wasn't expecting that at all. I was maybe hoping for a podium, but from there, I mean, like you said, being the points leader and everything, it was being the points leader, I think, is probably one of the most stressful things. Just being having a target on your back for a while. Definitely pretty stressful, but then I lost it and got it back, like you said, and but I don't know. I feel like me and Braden kind of swapped positions at the last race. Whenever Ironman I broke, and then he broke the next race, so it was like, I mean, I was kind of heartbroken after Ironman. I thought I was out of it. And I don't know. He just seems like we kind of swapped places.
Yeah, and you did, man. And I mean, tell me what it was like. I mean, take us. I mean, the Ironman. Here you are, round 12. You've got the points lead. The idea, I'm sure, heading into the Ironman was to go out. You wanted to win, and or at least stay ahead or really close to Braden at this point, because Gabe was out of the championship points race. And you go into the Ironman. You come out of that one. Wow. I mean, the worst thing that could have happened, basically, I guess you could say, man. You lost the points lead. You're 6 points down, and you got one round to go. And Braden is riding as well as he has ever ridden in his life at this point. Take us through those final couple of weeks.
Yeah, definitely after Ironman. I mean, Braden was probably kind of relieved in a way. I mean, I was stressed out, but we kind of got back home. Did what we needed to do to the bike, my dad and I. And I don't know, he just pretty much told me, he's like, well, I mean, you don't have to stress over it because the worst you can do is second. And I mean, that took a lot off my back. I mean, knowing that he was still, proud of me for, the worst I could have done at Loretta's was second. And so, I mean, that wasn't bad up until the race. I mean, the day before the race, like Braden was saying, everybody's giving you the pep talks and everything like that. And it was just really stressful. I almost just wanted everybody to stop talking to me about the race so I could just not think about it, not worry about it. And I don't know. I mean, just kind of went out and, I don't know. I had my, didn't really talk to many people before the race and just tried to, I got the whole shot, went out there and just tried to do my thing.
You've got a unique opportunity, and some might classify it as maybe a distraction, maybe a hindrance. But for you, it might be just exactly what you need. When you come to the racetrack, you're not like everyone else. You can't go out on Fridays and walk the racetrack. You can't really go out on Saturday mornings and do a whole lot. I mean, you probably do more on Saturday mornings, but you're rather limited in what you can do with your job there at the racetrack, working with tire balls and everything. I mean, so that right there kind of, it keeps your mind occupied. And, even though you're kind of in the spotlight as far as, people can come by and talk to you, you still got other things, no matter what they're talking to you about, to occupy you. Now, were you able to do that at the last round? Were there enough tire balls to change to keep you occupied there? Because actually you guys didn't race until, I guess, Sunday. So you had, at Loretta Lynn's, you had Friday and Saturday that you had to go through, I guess, huh?
Yeah, it's just like the weekend dragged out. And I mean, my theory's been every race that we get completely slammed with tires and just have a ton of business, at least in the past, they were the races I did really well at. So Loretta's is actually really, really slow. It's probably our slowest race all year, being the last race, and it wasn't muddy or anything like that. So we hardly had any tires to change, and I was really worried about that because it let me think about things a lot more, and I was kind of worried because every race that we were slow, I didn't do too well, so I was a little worried, but I don't know. Just, like I said, I tried to keep it off my mind, and I don't know, went out there and just kind of told myself what I had to do and did it, so.
There you go.
What's that?
No, go ahead. I said just, there you go. I was agreeing with you.
Yeah, pretty much. It was, I mean, as crappy it is that Braden broke and everything like that, when I saw him on the first lap, it was a big relief, and I was kind of working on my typical, like, check-out type thing, and after that, I just kind of laid back and actually had fun with it for the first time pretty much all season.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you went from first to fifth, man. What happened out there? How did you go from first to fifth so quick? Was it a pit stop that put you back there and then you weren't really worried about really pushing the envelope at that point?
Honestly, after I came through pro and everything, and my dad told me that Braden broke and all that, I mean, I knew I had a pretty big lead, and really all I had to do was just finish. So just kind of put it in cruise control and tried to have fun with it, really, and I did. I mean, like I said, it's being the points leader and stuff all season is kind of stressful, and after that, it was just, I could relax.
What did you do to celebrate?
I didn't really do too much, honestly. I don't get too worked up about stuff as far as being excited.
The one thing that people don't understand, I mean, the program that you run is a bare bones program. I mean, you did this, on 2 quads this year? You had a quad at the beginning of the season, then somebody actually got you your first ever brand spanking new quad, right?
Yeah. Raced all the GNCCs this year on 2 bikes. The last 4, someone, Billy Halp, gave me a 2012 YOC to ride at the last races, and before that I just had Old Red, my old red frame bike. So,
Old Red.
Yeah, 2 bikes pretty much. Yeah, Old Red. I think it'd be a Honda.
So, has there been anybody courting you? Have you knocked on any doors? Has anybody knocked on your doors since you won this championship?
There's been definitely a lot more. I think a lot more. I don't know how to say it, but it seems like I'm going to have more help next year. I'm still kind of working on that big sponsor. It'd be nice to get somebody to help me out with some bikes, but as far as suspension and all that, custom axles is going to be with me again, and I haven't got anything with ITP, but I'm pretty sure I'll be on their tires again. And the big sponsors like that, I think I'll have back, and hopefully some more.
Well, that's good, man. At least it sounds like at least you got some foundation to work with there. So let's see if you can't get some bikes, man. Get you a couple fresh bikes and see if you can't defend that #1 plate next year. I assume that's what your plans are, correct?
Yeah, that's the plan.
So you're gonna stick around. You're gonna defend that #1 plate. You got your program working and everything, and now it's just time to relax and have fun. And that's, I guess, what this weekend's all about, then, huh?
Yeah, this weekend I'm really excited. Me and Braden can just kind of go out and have fun, and kind of work as a team rather than being enemies on the racetrack.
There you go. There you go. Now, is there anybody showing up there that you're going to be worried about? Now, Walker Fowler's going to be there. You realize that, right?
Who's he riding with?
Norm Bickley from Fast Tracks.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that I think what McGill's doing and Fowler. So
no, McGill's not going to make it, man. That was some false information or some old information that we got, unfortunately, I think. Adam, are you still on here?
Maybe I'm on here like a 2-day-old fly on poo.
There you go. Now, let me ask you this. What day is your school out there in Indiana?
What day is the race?
Sunday is the race.
It's not that day.
It's not that day?
It's Saturday from noon to 5, and it's Sunday from noon to 5. So, essentially, I'm having to hand over my 2-year reign of the Team Ginger and I crown over, unless he can reclaim it without me.
You and Levi, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, not Levi. It's Seth Mumford.
That's it, Seth Mumford. Seth, that the other ginger, So, is Seth going to be there this year to kind of like at least fight for half that world championship?
I think so. We was initially going to do it. We had it set up, pretty much a month in advance. We was doing it again, and I got a phone call. It's been like 2 weeks ago, something like that. People wanting to school out in Indiana, and I talked to the owner of the MXC, Mike Gibbs, and he's actually been putting all this stuff together, and he packed 2 classes for me, and I'm going to go out there and teach some guys to go fast. So if these Pro-Am guys are moving up and want to go fast, I can always, cut them a little bit of a break, I guess, they want to learn.
At least let them claim a world title before, at least let Braden claim a world title before he goes up to the XC1 class, and at least he'll have that right then anyway, heading into next year. So that'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, he's going to have to do a little to claim that title, even if you were riding with Superman, Adam.
Whatever. The only way you claim that title is if I didn't even show up because nobody told me about it, which it seems that way everywhere I go. It's like, hey, you going to that race? And I'm like, when is it? They're like, yesterday.
Oh. Well, see, it's really not our job to watch after you and tell you where the races are there, Mr. Professional.
You know what? Just because you play with your booze and look at your butt at the same time doesn't make you better than me.
You guys are ate up. LP, and you hang out with Braden, man. Are you on this level with these boys? Do you ever get to hang out with Adam and LP at the same time, or Adam and Braden at the same time?
Oh yeah, they're like a couple brothers. Patricia, don't be giving no crap.
Does Adam get him down and give him noogies and everything?
Yeah, he knows me somewhat. Makes fun of me a good bit.
So have you got any good stories on LP right now that you want to share with us, or Braden that you want to share with us, Adam? Because I know you being the mentor and the icon of the group and everything, I'm sure that they have offered you endless hours of entertainment.
You talking to me on that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's I really can't say what I want to say, but it's fun. I mean, it's almost like it's almost like you got I guess I can't even explain it to you without being just absolutely vulgar, but it's fun.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad you're not being
like,
vulgar.
Yeah, it's like lamb and tuna fish, is what they're like together. You got two opposite personalities, and they meet and makes one heck of a sandwich.
I've never heard it put that way. I never tried a lamb and tuna fish sandwich either. Is that a good combination?
It's very good, packed full of protein. It's what I eat every day before I go race.
Now, LP, do you have any good stories on either one of those guys?
Not really. Maybe after this weekend we'll have some good stories.
There you go. That'll be good. Now, so we're familiar with what your program's looking like next year. So, Braden, I know that you worked very closely with Santo DeRisi this 2012 season. What does 2013 look like for you? Are you guys still in cahoots, or what's going on in that department? Is it still up in the air?
We are well past cahoots. We've pretty much got everything together. Actually, I think it's the first time I've ever actually had something together this early in the off season, and we've got a lot of stuff going on between me and him. And it's going to be a lot better program than next year. I think we're going to have to get on the ball a little bit more and have stuff dialed in a little closer, and just spend a lot more personal time together, get stuff set up and the way we really need it, get stuff dialed in.
That really scares me because he says we spend a lot of personal time. He's been on the ball. I mean, really? Come on. There's something there I need to worry about, Braden.
I was waiting on you to jump in on that one, Adam.
I was as soon as I said it.
you knew you said it in the wrong company anyway, didn't you?
I'm like, oh boy, I just let you just sink this line just a little deeper.
You just walked right into that one.
Well, what about you, Adam? What's your program looking like for next year?
Yeah.
It's all hazy.
It's all hazy.
Blurry. What's in your nose?
Do you have a program for next year?
Yeah, it's total boss. No, it's coming together very, very well. I don't think anything will be changing for sure. I know I just talked with my title sponsor, George over at Precision Steering Stabilizers. He's back on board. I've got my proposal into ITP. I know that they told me that they're expecting me to come back, so everything should be good there. I got a whole bunch of the little sponsors down here, not little sponsors, but a whole bunch of other sponsors like Work Connection, Dirtworks, they're in again, Cycler's in again, ODI's in again, Quadtech's in, Mayor's back, JT's back. I picked up a new one, All Balls. So, I mean, and there's a lot of little companies chipping in, especially like where I'm from, helping me do this. So
that's great.
I definitely think that this year was a success in the learning aspect of it, like figuring out how to talk to people, how to work around things, and how to, pretty much sell myself to the person and let them know that they need me, not that I need them. And so, one thing I got that figured out is shut up.
Yeah. Stay back.
So but yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's coming together very nice.
You guys.
Selling his body for money.
You guys are awesome.
I know there's one thing. Braden's on a lot of bashing. We have not unloaded on little Patrick yet.
Oh no! Well, you've got about 4 more minutes to unload on little Patrick, and then we're going to have to switch gears. We got Joel Jansen and Cody Jansen coming up here in hour 2 of Quad Radio Live. So let's unload on LP, man. Let's get the real dirt on this kid, because Pat to me, Adam, seems like the type of, I mean, he's just a small, quiet, laid-back kid, I mean, that is just all kinds of full of surprises with his talents on an ATV. And it seems like he takes all of his energy, all mental, physical, and everything, and applies it to the racetrack. Is that the case at all?
Well, the hardest part I've noticed about being Pat's friend is trying to tell them that he's not gay. It's like me and Braden are out. We're like, "What's up, baby? What's up?" And they're like, "Oh, you guys race quad? That's cool." They're like, "What do you ride?" We're like, "We ride Hondas," and he's like, "Bro, Yamaha." We're like, "Shut."
Is that why you painted your frame red on one of your bikes, man, so they wouldn't jack around with you like that?
Yeah, it's just a wannabe Honda,
I wanted a Honda, but I got a Yamaha for Christmas. Dad got it.
Well, you never know. You know what? If you play your cards right, LP, man, being the number one guy and everything, Donnie Luce might be giving you a call over there at Yamaha and say, "Hey, man, I got a couple of bikes and some parts for you for next year," and then you can say, "How gay is that?"